Okay, first, did anybody realize that Kathy was pregnant until she gave birth to her kid?
Yeah. And then I thought she was getting sick, right? And then they said...
All of a sudden, no, pop the kid!
Pops the kid.
And she was dead.
Yeah, then she died.
Yeah. That was during the part of the book where, like, everyone kept dying.
That's when I really got into it. When was that really bad?
Yeah.
Like when everyone started dying.
That was the turning point of the book.
Yeah.
And they also don't seem to, like, talk about pregnancy and stuff, but maybe back then, like, they didn't talk about that, you know? Because with anything, it was like they just kind of, like, mentioned it briefly, and then poof, there was a baby.
Yeah.
Wait, they mentioned it briefly?
But maybe it was somebody else. There are 3 different people that were born in the book.
3?
I just completely missed that Kathy was pregnant, and I was like, what? She's dead and she had a baby?
In the beginning
Yeah,
of the
I
book,
think
or towards
I did catch it somewhere.
first part,
I don't remember where, though.
Born.
It was like one sentence.
Yeah. Awesome.
Okay, which part of the book did you like? Did you like the first part with, like, old Kathy, or the new, like, the second half with young Kathy and Linton Earnshaw, or Linton Heathcliff and Hareton?
I liked the second part best because you could really see how everything kind of... They took on some characteristics from the first generation and how they changed from the first generation, but they took on some characteristics too.
Yeah.
I thought the second part was like easier to read, but I liked Heathcliff with Catherine better than Kathy, or young Catherine, whatever we want to call her, with her people. Although I did like her with what's his face?
Hareton.
Yeah.
Which only lasted
I liked,
about,
like, the 10 pages of their romance, the best part of... What?
Yeah, I like that a lot too.
That was my favorite
with Jane
relationship in
Eyre.
the book.
With Jane Eyre, I felt like the last 80 pages were the best part of that book.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of, I don't know. I felt this was more, throughout the book was more enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, I just couldn't get into it. I don't know if it was, like, my mood, or... I, like, really didn't enjoy reading it.
That's sad.
I know. Because I feel like I should have.
I was actually babysitting, and I, like, finished the last half of the book in, like, 3 hours. I was like... So, which is actually kind of unusual for me, so... Especially since it's, like, a classic. Although I did skip over, like, all those parts when Joseph was talking, because I have no idea what he was trying to say. Like...
That was another question that I had.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like,
It
I
reminded me
would
of, like, Huckleberry Finn.
and then give up.
I felt she wasn't very secure.
Yeah, I've read
with the
Huckleberry
character.
Finn.
There was some book I remember, like, having to read for school, like, that was like that, where it had, like, people with, like, the accents that I couldn't ever understand reading.
That took
it.
me
It was
forever
really
to get into
annoying.
because of the way it was written. That wasn't...
I just thought Joseph was... This is just bad. Like, there was countless parts I just didn't even bother to read.
Yeah.
I don't think he added anything to the story.
No, like, I feel like I got the whole story without reading his parts.
Yeah, it wasn't very...
Yeah. Okay. One thing that I found when I was researching for this was that just as the novel begins and ends with a Catherine Earnshaw, the name of Hareton Earnshaw also bookends an era. The final master of Wuthering Heights shares his name with a distant ancestor whose name was inscribed above the main door in 1500. So it's kind of like how it all tied back together at the very end. I found that
I definitely
interesting.
didn't catch that at the beginning.
Okay, let's talk about Edgar Linton.
Edgar. Yes.
Edgar would be Heathcliff's
He married
son.
Catherine. Huh?
He married Catherine, the second Catherine.
No, he married the first.
Isabella's brother, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. See, I'm already confused.
That's Hareton that married
Okay. No, but what was
Second.
Heathcliff's son's name?
Linton Heathcliff.
Okay. Okay, gotcha. So Edgar.
Okay, did you find him to be sympathetic? Like, did you sympathize with him?
Towards the
If
end,
he was
when
in
he
love
was
with-
dying, maybe.
Yeah.
But not at all. I always wanted Heathcliff to be with Catherine from the beginning. I don't know.
Yeah.
I found him almost incredibly stupid, just to like not go and find another nice girl.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to step out of the drama, the dramatic
Mhm.
Did
situation.
he get that, like, at the beginning that Catherine was in love with Heathcliff, though?
Maybe he never saw
I don't know.
He definitely knew when Heathcliff came back.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at that point they already married.
Yeah.
Right.
I think he was just blissfully ignorant.
But Catherine
chose
led
to be
him
ignorant.
on and, you know, was attracted to his
I feel like he was oblivious.
society
Like,
and
Yeah. He
Yeah.
was oblivious.
he thought
Do
Catherine
you
was
think-
in love with him, and he was in love with her.
Do you think Catherine was in love with him in any way?
I think
was she
so.
just-
I think she was in love with more of his money and
Yeah.
Mhm.
The comfort of being in a
His
relationship.
status.
Security. Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
she was just in love with like her social ambitions.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the other weird part is they seem to have no interaction with anyone outside of their houses.
Yeah.
Do you have any other
I
friends?
know.
Well, Emily Bronte actually grew up on the moors too, so she apparently moved away, like to get away from the Moors life, and she got very sick, so she had to come back. So that was probably like a huge thing of
Right. Influence.
I definitely felt like the whole time it was like the movie was like dark. Like when I was just like envisioning everything being dark. I don't know.
yeah.
Maybe because not much of the plot seemed very uplifting.
Yeah.
No,
It's
it
mostly,
was
like,
depressing.
depressing.
I mean,
I kept finding parallels to Twilight, so maybe that's why I really wanted Heathcliff to always be with Catherine. But I mean, that's only because they mention it so much in Twilight, and I'm reading it after the fact with that knowledge in my head. But
so now would be a good time to start Twilight or to finish it. I still haven't finished the first
you
book.
haven't finished it?
I'm not very far in it, so
Yeah.
anyways.
it's the second one where they
Yeah,
talk
it's
about
the second
oh,
one
okay.
where there are more parallels.
Wuthering Heights.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did you guys like hearing the story from Nellie's perspective?
Yeah, I did because I thought it was more unbiased than
Accurate, yeah.
having
Yeah.
Catherine or Heathcliff tell the story.
And I feel like she really cared for the people
Mhm.
too.
She was genuine, definitely.
And I felt like
She might have been my favorite
she was
character.
there.
Yeah, I think so.
I felt like she was there, but like she was also absent sometimes, and it left a lot open to like your imagination. Okay, I think Wuthering Heights is unique because Heathcliff doesn't have like some hidden virtue or good quality, despite the parallels you're making to Edward Cullen.
Yeah. Yeah, Edward Cullen does have a few redeeming qualities, but not so much with Heathcliff.
Yeah. Like, you know, Mr. Darcy in Pride and Prejudice, you hate him at the beginning, but then
But then he
you
has
realize
redeeming
his
qualities
motives.
and you like fall in love with him.
I think that's why I didn't like it. Because I never liked Heath, other than the fact that I felt like because they were in love, they should be together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish like we
Did
would
you
have gotten
find-
to
Oh, you can go.
I was just gonna say I wish we would have gotten to know more about Heathcliff. I feel like we didn't really know anything about him other than he was in love
Yeah.
with Catherine and he went away and married what's her face and
Well, in the beginning, I felt bad for him, but I don't think it was enough to forgive and give reason for the way he treated others.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I did kind of feel bad for him in the beginning with that.